Today we're going to be talking about definitions of lines and transversals. And really this is with parallel lines. So you should have used your book and the Open Reference website to complete the first page of notes. So you have hopefully already defined each of these terms. You have filled in this chart. So that's the first page of notes that you guys had. Now this top of the second page starts with this theorem. Okay, so we have a theorem that says if two parallel planes are cut by a third plane, so plane X and plane Y are parallel, then their lines of intersection are parallel. So if plane X is parallel to plane Y, then L is parallel to N. Because it makes sense that L is in plane X and N is in plane Y. When two planes intersect, their intersection is a line. So therefore L and N are also in Z, so they are coplanar, they're in the same plane, and they never intersect because they're in parallel planes. Okay, use the picture at the left to answer each one of the questions. So we have name all lines parallel to KL. So KL is right here. Now for these types of questions, we're going to assume that this is a box. So PG would be one line that is parallel. Notice how I'm putting a little line symbol over it. MJ and HN. All three of those lines are parallel to KL. Name all lines perpendicular to HN. HN is down here, so my parallels, or my perpendiculars, since it's a box, GH. PN. JH. And MN. Okay, all lines that are skew with GH. Now GH is right here. So GH, skew. They are not parallel, but they're lines that are in other planes that don't intersect GH. MN is one of them, because MN and GH are not in the same plane, and MN is never going to intersect because it's going up and down versus GH, which is going left and right. And same thing with LP. And then name a plane parallel to GHN and P, and technically I should have a P in there. Our parallel plane, think of it again as a box. So I have the bottom of the box, a plane parallel is KL, MJ. Notice how I named that. I started with K and I went either clockwise or counterclockwise. So KL, MJ. Okay, now part of this is challenging because we need to name two lines and the transversal that forms each one of the pairs of angles. I think that it's hard sometimes for students to pick out the lines and then versus the transversal. So let me draw a little line in here. So this is going to be, on the left is going to be our lines, and on the right is going to be our transversal. Okay, so angle 1, and I might even color that in, and angle 3. Now remember, your transversal intersects 2 or more lines. So which line, I have this angle and this angle. Which line do they share? They share line T, so that's our transversal. And K and L are the 2 lines that intersect T. 3 and 11. 3 is up here again, and 11. So I have, let me erase the one from the 4. So those are my 2 angles. What line do they share in common? They share L, that's our transversal. So the other 2 lines that make up the angles, T and N, are our other 2 lines. 10 and 11. 10, and let me erase what I had, 11. One angle, the other angle, okay, our transversal is N, and then the other 2 lines are K and L because those don't make up, those are the other 2 lines that make up the angle. N is the part that I traced over twice. All right, 6 and 9. So angle 6 and angle 9, well, which line, when I'm tracing through my angles, which line am I tracing over twice? Tracing over K twice. So that's our transversal. N and T are the other 2 lines. Lastly, 8 and 11. Let me erase. 8. Okay, so angle 8 is there. 11 is there. That angle and that angle, I've traced over L twice, so that's my transversal. The other 2 lines that make up our angles are T and N. Okay, next example. Finding special pairs of angles where their picture is a little awkward. Okay, UTZ, UTZ. So this angle here, highlight it. Trust me, highlight it for these challenging ones. And VZT. So this angle and this angle. You've highlighted your transversal, your other 2 lines. Well, that's going to be same side and the interior. So these are same side interior. Same side of the transversal. And they're in between. So it's same side interior. Okay, next one. VZY. VZY. And STQ. Well, SY is my transversal. I'm talking about this angle here and that angle there. They're on alternate sides of the transversal. One's below, one's above, and they're in the exterior. So these are alternate exterior. Okay, next one. Notice how we keep erasing in between these so that we can highlight them. STR. STR and XTZ. Those angles form an X. Those are vertical angles. I'm just reviewing with you some ones we've already done. All right, the next one. U, T, X, UTX, and T, X, Z. T, X, Z. So this angle and this angle, alternate sides of our transversal, which is RW, and in the interior, so these are alternate interior angles. Last set. RQ, RTQ, RTQ, and T, X, Z. Might be kind of hard for you guys to see those. This angle here and this angle here. One line, our transversal. Those are both above our lines and on the same side of the transversal, so those are corresponding. Okay, so state the special angle pair for each one of the angles. Now there are special angle pairs that come from this section, but also think additional ones that I'm going to have on there are vertical angles, and also I'm going to ask you guys linear pair. So be careful, you're going to have a lot to choose from. You're also going to have your alternate interior, alternate exterior, same side interior, and corresponding. Okay, so those are going to be all your options for those 6 questions.